This episode of the Closeout Bodyboarding podcast is brought to you by Bodyboarding Victoria and ATTICA Wetsuits. The new ATTICA winter range is now available in your favourite bodyboard and surf hardware stores. To stay warm this winter, check out the new Alpha series featuring liquid seams, gridlock firewall lining and 100% Neospan super stretch for ultimate flex. Or if you're lucky enough to be in a warmer climate, the Omega series has you covered with GBS construction, seamless stomach design and taped criticals. Check out the entire range at atticawetsuits.com. Welcome back to the Closeout Bodyboarding podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Benny Oborn, coming to you live from the beautiful Gold Coast today, where I'm catching up with a couple of my really good mates for a bit of off-the-cuff conversation. Dale Akehurst, but the man in focus, also one of the best drop knees going around. Tyson, Ryan, how are you, boys?
Men are just getting by.
Just getting by.
Just always getting by over
I'm
here.
just surprised it's even happening.
Oh, you know me, mate. I just go to where the story is.
Yeah.
Well, before we get started, mate, let's just do a bit of a recap of the day. Obviously, I flew up specifically to sit down with yourself and a couple other guys over the next couple of days to lock in some episodes, but just coincided that there is a bit of swell on the GC. Too much per se for our old stomping ground of D-Bar, but the points today seem to be firing.
Firing.
Did we get lucky?
Heaps of dickheads, do like usual.
Heaps of wankers. But as you know, all the wankers are always there.
I tell you what, the amount of guys paddling out with the GoPros in their mouth. Look,
Brazilians, you mean?
Mate, there was everything. More
money than brains.
I'm not here to discriminate, and I get it. You know, there's also everyone wants to get a good kind of POV shot of himself, but I just don't think they're the kind of guys that are going to get those kind of shots.
The only POV they're getting either is falling off or dropping in.
Or
Are we talking about the ones like where they've got them on the board and like it's not even like facing the right way? Like it's probably facing like to the side or something.
It's gonna miss it. It's gonna miss it.
Or sometimes it's looking back at them and the facials of just it not getting barreled.
The like the rough sex faces, like
the big grunts before they blow.
I think the first time I got a GoPro, actually, it was Tyson Lloyd's, and it was when I first moved in with him, like when I moved down here from the sunny coast, and I took his GoPro and it to Stratty, and I didn't even tell him.
Yeah,
he just got it. He was just starting to get GoPro sent to him, like for filming.
Yeah,
and I took it to Stratty, and it was like the first wave, and it was like a massive floater, and I come down and got ragged on the wash, and the thing just comes straight out of my mouth, gone.
Oh dear, oh dear.
Taxman collects again.
Yeah. Ka-ching. Or some little grommy that was walking along the beach that afternoon.
Who said welcome?
Because, if you got the little floaty backpack, they're always going to wash up. Yeah, but you got a couple of crackers today?
One. I think you saw it, remember?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, that's it. And
took you a while, but you got there?
Got right the hell out of there after that.
Yep. Dale?
One.
Yep.
Almost.
Oh, man.
I think you could claim that, right?
I don't know. When you get the old man drop in 300 metres down the line just thinking, fuck bodyboarding.
Nah.
Yeah.
I call that a make.
Yeah,
Call that a make.
Not even doggy door.
No, just in the doghouse.
Well, yeah, I got a couple. I definitely didn't get any bombs. I'm a little bit, out of shape.
How was the paddling?
Yeah, fine. Cardio wasn't too bad. The legs were a bit stiff to Savo. But,
don't get me started.
Yeah, this morning, obviously, it was mid-tide running out. It was really heavy behind the rock. Only the who's who seem to be getting those ones, or a couple of crew out on this.
They're stepping off again.
Yeah.
Which is obviously illegal, but they get away with it anyway.
It's a very heavy debate, that one. But I got lucky, a little bit further down the line in the morning before that.
In the honey hole.
Yeah, before that second shift come in. Anyway, Tice, absolute pleasure to have you here. You too, of course, Dale.
I'm just tagging along, brother.
Well, you're going to add some great content to this conversation. You guys are pretty close. But Tice, I've always been a big fan of your work. and as a mate. But I think the rest of the podcast needs to know a little bit more. So let's just get stuck into it, shall we? So let's start with the very start, mate. Who are you? Where do you live? What do you do?
Fuck, I've done this before. Actually, no, I haven't. Yeah. I'm from the Sunshine Coast, a little place called Marcus Beach.
I've never even heard of that place.
No one knows. Marcus Beach Rip Bowls. But
is that a thing?
But dead set, like the most dog shit beach. Like,
yep.
So it's like I never surfed out there. Used to go up to Sunrise Beach every morning, basically before school, and like surf like Tyson Lloyd, Jaden Dickey, and a few others, and pretty much just rocking up to school late every day. And I think that's why I got the boot in the end.
You wouldn't say it's your head, would you?
Plus a couple other things.
Well, before we get into, I guess, where you live now and what you do, like, so growing up on the sunny coast, like, when did it start for you? When did you first get in the water? When did you pick up a bodyboard?
I think like 14.
Yeah, pretty late.
Yeah. I can't remember why or when I decided, like, I'm just going to, like, do this drop knee thing.
Yep.
All I know is I tried to do it on probably the worst board possible, like, to start it.
Which
I think
was?
I can't remember how big it was because obviously I was tiny, but it was a Manta Cyclone.
Oh my, right.
It's like, yeah, it was a big board.
It was a boat.
It was a boat, but I guess like the bigger the board, the better it is to drop knee. But fuck, it would have been like me riding like a 49-inch board now, I reckon.
So, and were you straight into drop knee or did you start prone?
Nah, I think it was prone for a bit, but like I was dog shit at that. So, yeah. But, you know, that was like pretty early days too.
Unless you see the nest do a left reverse.
Yeah.
Puts a clinic on.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we talked to Brad Sony about that one at Samoa. he was scared that I was going to do it like an air reverse before him.
Well, we'll
the man up.
That is on the agenda of things to talk about.
Yeah.
But so prior to, you know, this time of your life and you're getting into bodyboarding, you're going straight into DK. Were you participating in any other kind of pastimes or sports? Back then?
I actually grew up playing cricket.
Yeah,
and I was like backyard cricket, and I didn't actually. I only did like one season in like school, and mum and dad are like, oh, you got to do it properly. I was like, righto, and yeah, fair enough. I did it properly. The first season, I got best bowler of the year straight up.
It's kind of funny because dude has the ball skills of a lesbian.
Who invited you?
What type of... I did, and I backed my decision.
Yeah.
What kind of bowler were you?
Fast.
Yep.
Yeah.
Shane Warne.
Actually, no, I'd give it a couple of spins as well.
Oh, full warning spec.
Mix it up a bit. So, yeah.
He's probably got some other similar traits to Wardy.
Most of them, actually. I feel like he followed in his footsteps, everything but getting good.
Oh, buddy.
So, yeah. And then it was rugby union as well.
Yep.
That was like early, So I did both.
Yeah.
But I actually played rugby union. Noosa Dolphins started like under 7s, I think it was.
Yep.
And probably literally till like under 14s, and then did the cricket thing, and then started bodyboarding. Then that was it. I stopped all.
You wiped off the rest.
Yeah, wiped it all off, and pretty much just that was it. Like just. Yeah.
Proper addictive personality.
Yeah, literally. And then just, like I say, like every morning before school. And then, pretty much. And then I think, I got the boot in like year 11 or something. So I had way more time on my hands to do it. So
did you get the boot for just not being present at school?
It was that, there was like 140 days where
through the school year.
Yeah. In year 10, I think it was. Or, 10, because they were like, oh, you're about to go into, like, senior. You can't be rocking up later. Still did it.
Man's no good at looking at the watch.
And then just, teachers just didn't like me. So, anyway, end up being for the best anyway.
It's quite funny when you discuss education with anybody, because obviously patterns change. Back when I was in school, my parents thought it was everything, right? Whatever you do, you just have to finish school. Everything else will work itself out, which is an absolute fabrication of a lie, because it's not everything. Like, there are so many other career opportunities you can pursue without going to school. Obviously, you want to get some basic context. You want to get your English, your maths.
I actually still can't read.
There you go. And you're now a qualified builder. Fantastic. Carpenter, builder, yeah.
I swing hammer good.
Yeah. But again, like, look at trades or any type of, labour type skill. You don't need to go to school for that.
No.
If anything, the sooner you get out of there, the better.
Just be big and strong.
What
and
I reckon is the best is there's all these people that like went to uni, did all the degrees and did all the, look at what I'm doing. And now those people are still in
a lot of debt.
They're in a lot of debt, but they're still in Noosa and they're still doing nothing. And I got kicked out. I literally just wanted to be a bodyboarder and get paid and do the hoo-ha. And then and now I'm working the mines and fucking building a house and doing all the stuff that you're supposed to do, I guess, if that's what that is. And point being, I didn't do any of that uni shit, and I'm where I'm now. I'm sweet. And
how did you? Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about what you're doing in the mine. So you're doing some type of testing, yeah?
Yeah, geotechnical.
Yep.
Yeah.
So how did you kind of get into that?
How did I get into that?
Yep.
Nick McNeil got me into that, and Sam Barrett.
Yeah, righto.
Yeah, you know Nick McNeil, Pecker.
I sure do.
Yeah. So pretty much I remember clearly we were in Pridgeon Park. I think it was at a party, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we just need new people." And I was like, "Oh sweet!" So they just got us in, started from scratch.
Yep.
And pretty much that was 2009.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, back in obviously on the sunny coast. So.
And how long? Because obviously, again, you start at the bottom. You got to work your way up.
Yeah.
How long's it been? Has it been that 9-year transition to get to that, or?
As in
you obviously went through stages where you're doing different kind of roles before you got to. Where you are.
Yeah. Because you've sort of got to do these internal qualifications like NADA. Yeah, it's like this NADA qualification stuff, so you can sign off on reports and whatnot.
Yep.
And and got Cert 4 in construction materials, lab testing, and doing my diploma right now at the moment. And so the higher you go, the more you get paid, and pretty much I think been looking after lab managing for about 4 years now. So,
have you had any of those kind of run-ins with anyone from your past, like back on the sunny coast from school days, that kind of say, "Oh, well, hey, Tyce, what are you doing with yourself these days? You drop out."
Oh, well, it's funny you say. There's a few people on the sunny coast that I think might even be a little bit upset about it, to be honest.
Yep.
And
standard tall poppy syndrome.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I think they just thought, "Oh, this loser's not doing anything," and geez, would you look at that? They're still in Noosa, and I'm not in one place at the same time ever.
And that's the best way to live your life.
Yeah, pretty much. Just pretty free. Girlfriend free, hoax free. It's pretty good.
Girlfriend free?
Yeah.
For now?
Nah, for quite some time after the last one, I tell you what.
Right.
Does have a tab at the local though.
Yeah, it's another story, isn't it?
You're like the Dennis committee of this podcast, Dale. I love it. So back to, I guess, bodyboarding, straight into drop knee stance. I guess who are your influences in those I guess primary days? Was there a particular rider?
Yeah,
or
it was just Roach and Lackey at that point, because it was pretty much just No Friends DVDs.
Yeah.
So it'd just be constantly my first, it was Guilty by Association was the first one that I bought, remember?
Yep.
and
VHS or DVD?
DVD and washing machines.
Yep.
So it was like Roach section on Guilds by Association, and then but the one that just would get played like every morning before I go to the surf was washing machines and Lackey section on that.
Yep.
That was just like fucking wow.
And I mean, so obviously Lackey, like he's Gold Coast based, you're Sunny Coast based. They're basically neighbouring, areas. When was the first kind of interaction you had with Lackey then?
Oh, I think first I spoke to him on MSN Messenger.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I can't remember when that was, but I think the first time...
Did you both profile each's age before you started talking? Fuck.
Here we go.
We're going down a wormhole.
I think the first time I seen him surf was at Back Beach Fingal. Yeah, it was. And I remember I was actually riding one of my auntie, which like we're doing the podcast at now at her place. She used to have an old Mike Stewart Comp Pro
Comp, yep.
Yeah, Pro Comp.
Yep.
The blue white slit, yeah. And I remember every time I come down to Goldie, me and Mum and Dad would stay with them in Palmy. And I'd go, oh, can I use that board? Because I remember I think I was 15 or 16 or whatever. I remember going, yeah, that board like goes better than my board. So I like wax that up, and yeah, I think it was definitely Back Beach Fingal. I seen him the first time ever, like in the water myself.
Yep.
But I definitely didn't go up and talk to him, nothing. But I can't remember. But I reckon it was just online.
Yep.
I can't remember like the first time I actually like went up and like said hi or anything like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, then moving forward to I guess that first conversation you had with him, like how do you find Lackey off the bat? Because I mean, I think one thing that's pretty obvious with drop knee, like it's a niche within a niche. Like it's not a fucking secret. Drop knee is very unique and it's friggin' hard to do. Like there's not that many people that are amazing at it. Like you obviously
you got to put in the time, eh? Yeah.
Was there, I guess, a moment where Lackey probably started reacting to your progress and going, oh, wow, this guy's pretty good?
I can't even remember that either, man. It was, you know what I mean? Like it was that long ago now.
Yep.
Maybe like, I don't know, 18? 17, 18 maybe?
Yep.
I think.
So how old are you now?
34.
34.
Yeah.
So you're about 7 years younger than Lackey, I reckon.
Didn't they just release one of those clips in Wii Bodyboarding?
Yeah. I think I was 16 on that Iluka trip.
There was some hope in your eye still there.
Yeah. That was actually that trip had a
Did
pretty
you see
funny
that?
story behind it.
Nah, not yet, mate. Not yet.
On Wii Bodyboarding, they're doing this like lost.
It's all Dane Pigeon's old footage.
Yeah, Picho.
Yeah.
Legend of a guy.
Yeah.
They just did a drop knee thing. It's like Lucky, Nast, Dylan Lee, and all that.
Yeah, like Feasty, even Kingy's got like the opener in it. Sick.
Tell you what, mate, like Feasty, I actually reached out to Feasty last week. He's some
sick
guy that I really want to sit down and have a chat with.
Oh, dude, that'll be a good chat.
I mean,
very good.
Like that guy's got some big kahunas.
Oh yeah,
like to push boundaries on those waves in WA on the knee, let alone prone, like next level. Like as far as I'm aware, he's the only guy to attempt to surf the right on the knee.
Yeah,
I can't imagine there's going to be too many more people that are going to have a crack at that.
I was talking about like with the boards and stuff. He was like, I think Redders actually did that board for him. Yeah.
Yep.
I know he was saying that.
Was it weighted?
Yeah. So, well, they put
is it lead?
Sand? No, it was either sand or it was fishing
lures. It was lures.
No, sinkers.
Sinkers,
and then spaced them
evenly.
Yeah, so they didn't roll around. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. And that board, I remember picking it up, and I was like, "Wow, it's like really heavy."
Well, it has to be.
Yeah,
it just has to be.
But yeah, like the whole science behind it was like, yeah.
Well, have you guys ever picked up like one of the weighted surfboards that they use for big wave towing surfing?
Nah. I've picked up one of Mitch's boards before when he had them at the factory. They were heavy.
Yep.
Thing was like a lead weight.
So again, back to those early days, mate. Obviously, you're now a sponsored rider. Who was your first sponsor, and when did that happen?
Yeah, so that actually, it was an Italian company called Secret Bodyboards. I think they still even are a thing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that was actually, they were shaped actually by Dan Sieves.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah,
I don't know. Is he still shaping?
I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure he's doing all the
'Cause
customs for Nick Mez.
Yeah, I was about to say, I
right.
think like it was him and Mez in the same factory, but he.
Well, there was There was Gibbo, Mez, and Dan. Yeah.
So
If
I
you-
can't even remember how that come across. Oh, it was Simon his last name. I can't get always bad with his last name. Romano, I
Okay.
think he was. Yeah, and he was the one that hooked it up. I think actually from memory.
So your first sponsor was a board sponsor.
Yeah,
That's pretty big.
Oh, them and then Eppo's.
Yeah.
When Eppo still had the shop in Sunny Coast, yeah.
Yep.
And then no, there was actually another one, and they're still going, like Inspired Clothing.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so they're actually still going as well. Yeah, so it was mate. No, actually, I think Inspired was first, and then it was Secret.
Is Inspired the New Zealand company? Am I mentioning that?
Yeah. Oh man, I can't remember the guy's
Need
name.
to fact check that one, Dale.
Can't remember the
Fact
guy's
check.
name.
I've never even heard of it.
It was that like I was 16 when I was riding for but he was a good dude. Like I remember I was in nationals and I was doing heaps of comps when I was younger. I was at nationals at Port and surprise, I only ever got first once.
Yep.
In a heat, and it was
In a heat.
It was in
okay.
in a heat, and it was in that nationals. I remember.
Yeah,
and
right.
I think I beat Apsy
Nice.
in that heat as well.
You'll take that scalp.
And I remember like coming in and being all stoked and like ringing him like, "Oh man, who got first?" and blah blah. And he's like, "Oh, sick." Like 16, just like buzzing off my head because I got first in a heat.
In a heat.
Yeah,
Yeah, but that's kind of the thrill of any form of competing, whether it's cricket, football, whatever you do. Like winning, just
yeah.
creates some pretty good energy. It's
Yeah.
like it's good for the brain.
And I can't see. I don't have any other recollection of winning because it's just always losing.
The man is a loser.
So
No, I did actually. I got second.
an ABA one.
Yeah, then
At
you were still
Fingal.
going at Back Beach Fingal. No, at M Wedge.
And Wedge, I
And
remember
you know,
that.
Yeah, that's 2019. Yep.
yeah. And that's only because Lackey had to go back to work again.
So that
default second.
So I went straight through because Lackey had to go to work.
Yeah.
Like it usually happens every time he goes in comp.
So that, I mean, we still got good waves at NWEDs that
Yeah,
day.
it was
but
fun. Yeah.
Fuck, what really pissed me off about that
Mm.
is obviously we had the permits in place for D-Bar, and if you can remember, D-Bar was firing.
Didn't WSL take him?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
so,
right. Yeah.
Lay down and fuck off.
So Surfing Queensland basically pushed us out. Funnily enough, they didn't have a permit. So we went back to Tweed Shire Council and said, isn't this the way you do things, by the book? And they're like, they're big business. They're like, there's nothing we can physically do. Like I'm like, can you call the cops? Like, I get it.
You can always call the cops, brother.
Well, yeah,
Every day.
it's not going to do anything. But yeah, it was kind of really awkward as well because one of my good buddies because I did a lot of work with Surfing Queensland. So one of my good buddies, Dave, I had to have a meeting with him, and he felt shit. He's like, man, my hands are tied. He's like, I want to help you.
Of course they are.
Yeah.
Aren't they always buckled?
I want to help you, but at the same time, stand up, speak, but burgers.
Well, yeah, that's just,
In this situation at all times.
but you
Probably
know,
booked in before it too, no doubt.
well, look, karma comes back in swings and roundabouts. I'm not sure if you guys have read the headlines of Gold Coast Bulletin lately about a bit of an internal inquest into some shit at Surfing Queensland.
Like I said, brother, I can't read.
I won't share the details.
And I refuse to read fucking newspapers too, so
Believe everything
Yeah.
on the internet.
Conspiracy theories right there, fellas.
Fucking here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go. Lock in.
Are they, but
I don't
are
know.
they just blatantly true?
If you can't,
Jesus. Fuck. So with your first board, pardon me, your board sponsor, were you getting just stock boards or custom?
Nah, customs.
How
I was
good's
getting
that?
customs, but obviously they come out nothing like I fucking wanted.
You ask for a square, you get a triangle.
I literally, like, well, put it this way. It was when I first...
what it is?
It was a Lackey board. It was the 2005. It was probably the best shape.
Yep.
And out of, like, pretty much, like, even till now. And I wanted that shape. But, like, I can't remember, like, there's no way I even sent them dimensions because I probably couldn't have even fucking, like, squared up a board or anything. And then obviously I didn't send the board over, so they couldn't have got the shape. So I was like, well, how are you going to... But then, I was so young, I didn't even know, like, how that all works.
Yep.
And, yeah, sure enough, I got these boards, and I'm just like, fuck is this? Like, even I was 16, but I already knew by then, like what a good board is and what it looks like, and everything was like down to, like, even by then I was like, you got to have blunt cuts and you got to have, like, it's all style already,
Of course.
and I just knew, I was like, fucking hell, what's this board like?
Would you
And
say,
I got two straight up. I mean, it was a black one with orange slick and a all blue with, I think it was weird, like black slick or something.
I'd chuck that straight in the bin.
Yeah, I think it did.
You know what else needs to go in the bin, mate? Those Crocs.
I told you not to wear
Fucking put
them.
them down, man. These are pure comfort.
When we left yours, I go, you're not, man.
I'm in strict comfort right now. We're sitting in the back porch. Man's wearing
Look,
his Crocs.
We try to work to some type of standard here at the Closeout, Dale.
These are straight up safety Crocs. They got steel caps in them, so you can pipe down.
Oh, Jesus.
Look at them.
Jesus. Your poor partner, mate.
She thinks they look good in them. They say, "Hey, where you stepping out, Crocs?" I go,
Right.
"No worries."
How about the steel cap volleys that you showed me before you left yours?
Oh yeah, if you got to work at 6 and pub at 8, they're fucking ready.
You know what? He's
Oh,
got it all worked out.
Yeah, righto. They'll
Hey,
give him that one.
But I tell you what, you know where they might have stuffed up the old board dimensions? The old metric versus imperial.
Oh yes, a couple of inches.
Yeah.
extra
Makes
meal.
all the difference.
That's why I always like to tell how big my penis is in meals.
It's got extra zeros.
Absolutely, Bella. Just in the negatives.
Yeah. Oh, all right. So that was your first. I mean, obviously, a fair bit's changed. Give us a bit of a rundown of who's got you back now. You're on the dream team.
Yeah, apparently. Nomad, ATTICA, Live Edition, and Intricate Shockwave, which is I used to ride from like I think 2015. He hit us up. He's like wax, but like
So when we were living together,
yeah,
it was
yeah,
because I was snaking heaps of it.
yeah. But it's actually
It's a wax
the
company.
wax is like he gets all this wax made, and it's actually really good, and it's for any like surfboards, bodyboards, foamies, everything.
Yep.
Like it works on everything.
It's an all-rounder.
Yeah, it's a full all-rounder. And so it's like real good for new boards. Like
B-wax kind of base and paraffin thing, or you don't know?
I don't know, it just smells good.
Yeah, it just smells
No,
like good wax.
it's good. It's like I reckon it's as good as sex wax anyway, because that's what I was using before then. But so he picks up and then dropped off for a bit, and then he hit me up. I think it was like last year, end of last year. He hit us up again. I'm like, yeah. He's like, oh yeah, I'm doing the wax again and stuff. I'm like, yeah, no worries. And he sent us a care package, all this wax, just for I went to Samoa on that trip. So
Yeah, sick.
yeah,
Did the job.
yeah.
So no different waxes for temps, like your
Nah,
standard.
it's all. I can't remember, man. I think it's good for everything.
Yep.
Cold water, hot water. Like I've used it in cold. Like I use it down home. Sweet. And obviously the water's always on the colder side down there. So
Yep.
Essentially, the man's telling you that the wax is marketing too much to you. Just use one and keep going.
yeah, good chat, Dale.
Coming up next week.
Wax ripping you off.
Well, I mean, there are some waxes that I've tried with like hot and cold that there is generally no difference. It's just a different color cardboard box. But there's some that are clearly different. I had a crack at making my own surf wax. I wanted to make black surf wax.
Yeah,
That sounds
that'd be-
awful.
Yeah. Well,
well,
a lot of guys wear.
Depends
right-
on the colour of the board, I guess.
True.
Actually, no, it would look dog shit. Yeah.
Yeah, I did a fair bit of research into it, but it's not as easy to make as I thought. Again, you've got to really get those ratios of the stuff to work. But yeah, I had a couple of blocks that turned out well. If you're interested in black wax, no, I'm not even going to say.
Have you got a sample?
Yeah, I can send some samples out, mate.
How do you reckon they go melting in the car?
Oh,
Probably terrible.
Could you?
Imagine trying to get that off the seat. Mate, moving on to the next question. Who's part of your rat pack? Like, who are the guys that you were tight with growing up surfing? Has that changed much to now? Are there still guys you're surfing with from your youth? Or is it, again, obviously you didn't know this beautiful man next to me when you were younger?
yeah, no, I didn't meet Dale. I can't.
How
even
long have you been an NDIS worker, by the way?
He actually just got another care package for me last weekend, tax evasion, some shit like that.
What are we going on about?
Oh,
Shit. Okay. Now I've cottoned on.
This is why you wear a seatbelt when we drive.
Yeah. Right.
I'll probably
yeah, so
answer that.
tell me about the crew from the OG days.
Yeah. So, oh man. So basically, I started bodyboarding. Like, are we talking like back like
Day dot.
day? Yeah. Well, actually, it was probably more with surfers at the
Yep.
start, and then met a few people at school. Actually, so basically the longest person I've known is Tyson Lloyd.
Yeah, no way.
I met him through mates from primary school. Yeah, his stepbrother Nathan Bailey. So I was good friends with him growing up in school. Played basketball. Oh, I played basketball as well. There you go.
Oh,
yeah,
look at this.
yeah. So yeah, I was playing with Nath, and then I remember we went back to his house in Noosa Waters, and ends up like his stepbrother's Tyson Lloyd. So I think it was like year 5.
Yep.
Yeah. So like bit of a long friendship there with that one, and yeah, and Tyson ended up bodyboarding as well. Jaden Dickey. Now he's a filmer now, but yeah, he would bodyboard every now and then. But yeah, he ended up filming pretty early. Like I think maybe when everyone was like 15, 16, like you started doing it. Luke Davis.
Wog.
Yeah. Yeah, so he was there as well. And there was a couple others like James Demos. He was a bit older. And there was a couple of others. I can't remember their names, but it was actually back at like Sam Ross, Nelson Ross days. Like they lived literally across in Thomas. Like actually, yeah, I used to rock up Thomas's house when I was 15 to go for a surf, and him and John I would be like hungover.
Tom Robb. Tom Robb, yeah?
Yeah. So yeah, I used to go to his and go. Let's go for a surf, and I'd just rock up like unannounced, and him and Jono would just like hungover.
They were rough.
But they would have only been like 19, 18, like not even.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, basically, oh man, this like I didn't meet Novi till I was probably about 18.
Yep.
No, 17, 18. Yeah, pretty much just like Cade, like everyone. Like the whole, Bendel.
It's a pretty talented pool up there.
It
on the
is,
Sunny Coast, and it probably doesn't get
That
doesn't
generation is kind of insane. Like,
Yeah.
whenever you kind of look at bodyboarding, you just go, "Oh, the Sunny Coast people of this age group is just skit." You're like,
and probably doesn't get the credit they deserve.
maybe not, but at the same time, like I'm a little bit younger than this bloke, and that every time I find myself watching old bodyboarders, it's just Sunny Coast people, ripping, and you're just like, oh.
Yeah. Well, they kind of set. Well, again, Jono and guys like Tom Robb.
Jono, Tom Robb, and then Stone and Novi set the bar.
But they also wrote the book on like modern technical bodyboarding.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They kind of followed, like it went, Hardy kind of got that full tech going. Then Mitch came through and did his thing, and then Novi, Stone, Jono, and Tom Robb just kind of took that even further, just like, hey, you're surfing 2 to 4 foot waves and it looks incredible.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on here?
Tom Rob's been doing some work with our mutual friend Blakey, hasn't he? Down on
Yeah, he's actually slaps a mud on the wall now, a little plaster.
yeah.
Look at him go.
Yeah.
Living the
Look at him go.
photographer's dream.
Yeah.
Got to pay the rent somehow, bro.
Yeah, that's true. And what
Actually, sorry.
about you? Go.
Oh yeah, and yeah, I miss Jake as well. Like Jake Stone, he was like probably I would have been 16 or 15. Yeah, So just after I got kicked out of school, and I needed to get a blue card.
Yep.
And that's how our friendship come about. I had to go down to Maroochydore to get my blue card done, like for Master Builders.
Yeah.
In the place, and then I remember because it was going to be finished late. I had to get the bus down from like Marcus, like the whole lot. And he's like, "Oh yeah, no, I'm just like up the road, man. Just come stay at mine." And then fucking boom. And then I'd go down and hang with him and Brad. Or actually, Brad was more off doing skating and stuff, and hanging out with and
Bit of a late bloomer.
Yeah. But he's still bodyboarded, but he just not as much like as he does now, obviously. But me and Jake were and Reese Novella,
Up the Reese boy.
yeah,
Solid crew.
Reese was like that year older than I said he'd go get the Jimmy Tallies.
Hey, Reese, man, can you go get us some Jimmys?
Yeah. But so me and Jake would pretty much like not every weekend, but he might come up to like Noosa Way every now and then, but and then we'll go down to Cloundra and hang out with Cade and all those boys, and it was a pretty sick growing up. It was very fun. There was a lot of destruction.
And those guys also seem like they're doing really good for themselves in life.
Yeah, man. Yep, for sure.
Kato's like a fucking ultra marathon dude in his spare time now, isn't he?
And just runs 100Ks on the weekend.
Yeah, no worries.
Pulls the skin off his chicken.
Yeah. So to say.
And then, Jake's doing some really good stuff with personal health.
Real good.
Yep.
I need to go see him, actually. My whole skeleton's just bovril. Real bad. It needs to be... Yeah. I think it's just because it's, Sunny Coast so far away and I've only got so much time off and I've got to, like, fit everything in. But I think I just got to bite the bullet and just go see him for, like...
Yep.
Even if, I don't know, like a few days just to just get everything sorted. Because I'm just like injury after injury after injury, and it's just doing my head in.
Book him in.
Proper, man.
Book him in.
Yeah.
But what about now? So obviously, that's a long time ago. Who's your kind of go-to crew for trips, local,
Well,
OS?
Me and Stoney pretty much, because I'm living down at Ulladulla now on the south coast. And
Big Stone.
B-Rad.
he literally
B-Rad.
lives 2 doors, 1, 2, 3. I can see his ute from our driveway. So, pretty much like me and Stoney been linking up heaps, going wherever. And, he's got like more time because he doesn't have to work. Like he'll go do a week of work and then be like, all right, let's go on a trip.
Yeah, do a couple of slabs, pour a couple of slabs.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's well enough to go do whatever you want after that. So, Stoney and...
He was didn't he move back up to the sunny coast for a
Oh
little
no,
bit?
he's been all over the shop, man. I thought I was all over the shop. This guy's like WA, sunny coast, Ulladulla, back to WA again, sunny coast. It's like, man, just settle down.
Yep.
Just fucking relax.
And then he's like, oh, I love this chick. Oh no, I don't anymore. This, and it's like, man, you just need to.
Just sounds like
relax.
he's got a lot going on in his life.
Yeah. But I think he's starting to find some closure now, and just South Coast is his home. So
Gee, I mean,
it always comes back to that now instead of like the sunny coast. Like a lot of people from the sunny coast will go back there, whereas I think he's just like, nah, South Coast.
Yeah, found his niche.
Like same me, man, as well. Like I barely go back to the sunny coast anymore, and I barely even come to Gold Coast anymore either. But
It's fucking fantastic.
yeah, it's debatable. Yeah,
Mate, well, for me personally, I just feel like, again, the Gold has got its perks, mate, but it's for me, it just had an expiry date.
yeah,
So,
same.
yep.
Finally, because It was the best thing I ever did.
Yep.
It's just get my little car at the time and piss off. So
Yeah, too many vortexes on the coast, mate.
that and just so many people now.
Mate, it's nuts.
It's too many. Like I remember when I first moved down from the sunny coast to the Gold Coast, and I remember you could surf D-bar with like a few people, like every now and then. Just you get the offshore arvo, you go out, might be 10 people, and it's like pumping. It's like, it's crazy.
Like obviously, even driving down from MJ's place this afternoon to get here, I get it.
Oh,
peak hour
mate,
traffic.
I don't miss any of that.
Nuts.
Like that actually takes like years off my life just because
Time spent on the road there.
I hate people, man, especially in cars. Like, you know what? I'll just leave it at that because I'll just get angry.
Well, Dale, you're obviously our man on the ground here, our go-to for all things GC based.
Mainly just D-bar.
Yeah, but again, I haven't lived here in lost count 7-8 years now. Like, what have you seen as a transition change in the Gold Coast in the last 7-8 years?
More people,
Yep.
less boogers.
Yeah,
that's kind of it. Like a lot of people in the area now.
Yep.
Which is annoying, but you just kind of accept it.
Yep.
But at the same time, like I've always surfed D-bar pretty religiously.
Yep. So I mean, you're obviously a pretty reputable face in that lineup,
if you say so.
Well, I mean, footage speaks for itself, mate. You seem to generally clean up. You don't, like, obviously there's always going to be some type of hassling, but you seem to do pretty well out there these days.
We will give a little bit of props to Lucas Gardner, my housemate who films.
Yep.
I bully that man every day to come surf.
You've got something over it. You've got some dark secrets
I've got
hanging over him, don't you?
A bit of meat on that bloke. Just come on, brother, let's go.
Yep.
But yeah, I guess that kind of helps with the whole
Of course it does.
thing. Like people are like, oh, he's been getting heaps of clips. It's like, oh, we go surf D-bar after work every arvo, and you get one good wave. But when you're filming, one good wave helps.
That's all it needs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so what about, obviously we surfed snapper through Greenie today. How often, do you surf that much?
As in Greenie and snapper or in general?
Greenie and snapper.
Obviously when D-bar's too big to surf.
Like it was today, yeah.
Like it was today, you go around the corner. Things you take on when you surf that place is, if I get a good one, I'm probably going to get dropped in on.
Yep.
Also, when is it right to drop in on someone? Which is a thing that I've learnt from living, growing and surfing on the coast, that sometimes I feel like it doesn't leave when I go different places.
No.
Which is something you got to keep on thinking about. It's like you paddle out somewhere, maybe South Coast or something, and it feels like you're surfing normally and people going, what are you doing, man? Stop paddling around, like relax.
Yeah.
Because that's how
this is what you're used to on the Goldie.
Like you paddle out 4-foot D-bar when it's cooking and there's nearly 200 people in the water and you're just going
on a single peak.
And it's whoever's the most ruthless gets a wave.
Yep.
And then I'm 30 now and I've been surfing since I was 15, so 15 years of that.
That's how long it's taken.
Yeah. And then you go somewhere else and you go, holy fuck, I'm actually the wanker.
Again, unfortunately, it's not something that I think everyone wants to do, but that's just the Gold Coast mentality.
Yeah.
It's
kind of the only way to get a wave is...
I think you said it today, Tyson, kill or be killed, right? Like, it's just what it is.
Like at D-bar, I've never actually seen it crowded. I've never seen D-bar crowded.
What?
Well, because
that's
there's no difference.
Oh,
it is what it is.
I've never seen D-bar crowded.
Yesterday it was like, because I'm so used to just either surfing by myself or with like Stoney or like 3 other people.
Yep.
Even yesterday when we surfed D-bar, there was only about 4 people down Lovers End. I was like, oh, this is actually pretty mellow.
Yeah.
Well, I still dropped in on him.
Hey, I need to give a big props to our good mate Richie Chilefi today, by the way. Probably
is that the one you're talking about?
Probably one of...
Actually, Richie messaged me. He said, wait until Benny tells you about the drop-in, mate. I'm here.
No leash too.
Yeah, good on him.
Oh, full wrangle.
But, mate, generally, bodyboarders are on the other end of this, right?
Yes.
It's rare to get a little bit of payback.
Oh, yeah. Reverse.
To Rich's credit, he said he didn't see the guy, and he probably didn't because, again, there was a bit going on. a lot of the guys were basically pulling back at the last minute. So also in his defence, like he just assumed the guy just wasn't going to go.
Yeah.
But the guy
Was the dude over 50?
He wasn't your mate, no. It was a younger dude. But obviously, because that surfer then had hesitation because Rich dropped, he got caught up in the lip. Like, this is...
Just got a royal flogging.
Yeah, it's like, went... But got
Let's
flipped.
be honest here. Did the man pay his tax?
Nah. He's still got tax to pay for sure.
Absolutely.
Still.
Pipe down.
But no, it was for me. It was one of the highlights.
Incredible.
Highlights.
I wish I'd seen that.
Honestly, I would have went in. I would have just paddled in if I seen someone do that.
Yeah. So tip of the cap to you, Rich. Well played.
That's all I was trying to do all day was just try and just get in. Mate,
once we got down towards Kia, it was
I know.
so hard.
Then you know how we were stuck out, and I was like, "Fuck!" I'm just trying to go it like
no man's land.
I was just going to try and paddle in and not even get a wave, and then I got that one. I was like, "Okay, that was worth it."
Yeah.
Well worth.
So mate, want to obviously now chat about some of your film kind of projects, past and present. It's been a kind of pretty significant, influential one from the glory days. I think it was it Death Style?
Yeah.
Had you, Lackey, and another
Tommy.
Tommy McFarlane.
Yep.
Mate, how tell us about that project. Who was the brains behind it, or did it just kind of happen?
I think that was I think that was a Shano and probably Jennings thing because I didn't know about that at all.
Yep.
I think that just popped up out of nowhere.
Yep.
And we got a real I took the day off. I remember that's when I was still working on the Gold Coast, like soil testing. And we could see this day coming. Like the banks have been good over there for so long. And I was like, yeah, I'll do annual leave day for that day. And we got there, it was pumping.
Yep.
Yeah. Jennings film, it was just me. When we got there, it was just me and Matt.
Yep.
And one surfer. And it was at firing. And I was like, oh my God. And then
where was everyone else at?
Well, probably
was
a snapper. Oh no, well that's the thing. It wasn't. I don't know. It was midweek. I don't know. But
back in the day when the Goldie wasn't crowded.
Well, it was 2019.
It's pretty crowded.
Yeah, it was still it was getting crowded, but you could get the days over there, man. I got my first Riptide photo 2011, I think that was.
Yep.
Woody Gooch took that from the beach, and it was just a right going into the poles, man. It pumped a year straight. It just
good
doesn't matter what direction the swell was. It was just a year of just the photos and footage come out of it was just ridiculous. Hey,
yeah,
far out.
Are we talking about that Fingalbank?
Yeah.
Oh, that thing nearly got me expelled from school.
Were you still at school then?
Brother, you're old.
Dale's still
2011.
He's still at school now.
I can't read and write, man.
He's
It was actually
every day.
It was 2012 because I remember I got my license in May, which was my birthday, on my day, and the first thing I did was get a speeding ticket and go to Fingal.
I didn't have a license and I lost it. That's right.
You still
I
can't
was
drive.
driving down illegally to surf that bank.
Yep.
Every weekend, I'd say at Tyson Lloyd's because he'd just moved down from the sunny coast, and and I'd come down every weekend to surf that, and it was just non-stop.
Yeah, nice.
And that's when all the photogs are still shooting.
I will point out
Paul Castle.
Nah, the younger crew, so it was
Nuggy.
Oh, who was shooting that? Who was shooting in those days?
Nuggy,
It was Nuggy?
Jid.
Young Jalan.
Oh,
No,
Jalan.
it was oh man, I can't even remember any of these guys' names because
Nuggy.
they've dropped off the face of the
Jalan.
earth.
Those two kept going.
Yeah,
Tyson was filming.
But they were none of the shots that I got. It was none of those guys. It was oh man, literally just I'd have to go back into my
Curtis was shooting?
Instagram to
Curtis Pryor.
Yeah.
to see who I put down, who shot it. It was that long ago.
I will say something though.
Crazy.
Bodyboarding back then was way meaner.
How so?
As in, just like it got so technical, and I guess that was kind of Gold Coast era of really good. And just like all like 16 to 20-year-old people were really good at surfing,
Yep.
and no one wanted to tell each other that they were good at it.
Yeah.
Like everyone just kind of just was like, "Oh, sick flip," but you weren't square. Or
Yeah. Oh, man, I get what I know what you're saying now.
and it
Yeah,
was
yeah,
just like-
absolutely. It was incredibly heavily critical.
Yeah.
mean, critical.
Yep.
Yeah, everyone was just like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you could do better. You could do better. You could do better."
Yeah. Oh, I hate using this word, but almost cringe, isn't it? Bit cringe. Bit cringe. Yeah, bit
Cringe,
cringe.
you reckon?
Yeah, I learnt that on TikTok.
Oh, I guess the attitude
Fuck
was,
that,
but
John.
when you watch it surfing, you're like,
Yeah,
"Oh, it's great
yeah, it's
surfing."
pretty fucking good. Mate, so yeah, I mean, is Tommy McFarlane still surfing?
I think he does every now and then. I actually randomly seen him. He said he was coming down the south coast because he's a rock climber, like
Yeah.
real good rock climber. And he,
Does a lot of rope access work.
yeah,
doesn't he?
yeah. And he was on his way down. I was like, oh, there might be a day at Pipe, maybe rock in and you might get it. And he didn't end up going all the way down there, but he had all these like rope, like rock climb joints to go to. But
Yep.
there was one near Pipe, but he didn't end up doing it, so he don't think he ended up surfing.
Yep.
But then that was good to see. And that was random. I hadn't seen him in ages.
Yep. No, yeah, definitely a kid that
But I think he still gets in the water every now and then.
he
Pretty
did
sure.
again. He had natural style, and
Yeah,
that's
at his own. Fucking oath, and obviously still does when he
Yep.
gets in the water.
So let's talk about a new film project, mate. Analog. Obviously, combination of some sessions shot down on the south coast and also Sumatra.
Oh, nah. Samoa.
Samoa.
Yeah.
Ooh, sorry.
Yeah.
That's a proper typo on my part. Shit.
No, there was the other boy, Novi, and that went to Sumatra.
Yeah.
that was before
Yeah.
us, I think. Yeah.
Shane's going to kill me for that one. sorry, big fella.
Had to pull the man up on that one.
Yeah.
So that was I was actually booked in to go to Hawaii.
Yep.
For January. I was going to go for 2 weeks. I had my accommodation booked, everything.
Ready to go.
Yeah, flights booked, everything was ready to go. And then I think Elliot Williams said something about Samoa, and then Joe, the feelers went, "Oh, Samoa." And like, yep, might be happening. And then, we end up getting this group chat going. And then, because that's right. No, me and Stoney were supposed to go to the Philippines.
Yeah, right.
And it was like this last second thing, and Shano was like up in the air, and then we had Lackey going, "Oh,
Mate,
yeah."
whenever you say Philippines to Lackey,
and-
the ears prick up.
Yeah, and then I'm like, "Are you coming?" He's like, "Oh, and I was like, "Oh, he's probably not going to come." And it was just the most up in there. And I had one day to know whether we were going or not, because I had to go back to work.
Yep.
And I actually let work. I said, "Look, I'm going," and they went, "Okay, we'll cancel your flights." I was like, "We better be going."
Yeah.
So it come down to, and we didn't go. And I was like, and it come down to because, I think it was either Lackey or Shano, but someone's like, the surfing comp is on in 2 weeks, and it's already flooded with surfers.
Yeah.
But, are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Wingers was over there because his missus,
Yeah.
his missus Filipinos. He just went, he went over
And scored.
and I'm like, "Hey, you might get waves here." Straight into waves. And I go, was it crowded? And he's like, "Nah, look." And I was like,
Far out.
and I sent to Stoney, I'm like,
Mate, sometimes you just got to press the button yourself.
"Oh, dude,
Yeah.
and it's a fuck around getting there, but we had all the flights ready to go, like the button was ready to get hit.
it's multiple flights to get there.
It is,
Yeah.
and the button was ready to get hit, and I was like, "Man, let's just do it." And then Stoney, do we just do it anyway? But then it's
So,
no.
so you haven't been to the Philippines before,
I
have
have.
you?
No, I did.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, I went with Dylan Lee in 2016.
Yeah, right.
But it was just a one-off trip. Like, it wasn't planned or nothing.
Yep.
Yeah, I went with him, Kels, his missus, and one of her friends, Missy, and another mate, Roxy, that's in a metal band. He come along as well. But, yeah, it was sick. It was like Rogue. We got waves. We got Cloud9 like once. It wasn't like spectacular. We got that wave, that Quicksilver's wave better.
Yeah, right.
That real fun, yeah.
Yeah, sick.
Which actually was another 30-second clip that Jennings did up with the footage from that.
You haven't done Philippines, have you, Dale?
No, the only thing I really remember about Philippines is Tyson waking up with the goat.
Oh, yeah,
Man's been scared since.
Here we go. Yeah, look.
It's a religious thing, though.
Yeah,
It's
look.
a religious thing.
I don't know if you wake up.
I think Dale's got it in his own mind that I had sex with the goat, but like I didn't.
It fucked you.
Mate, where do you do your research,
My bike
Dale?
was on still, and I remember this thing was on a lead, and I remember just like waking up, and it was just staring at me. I was like, "Where am I?"
So Tyson got the heat off the running motorbike and the heat off the goat, and fuck, the horny goat weave kicked in.
Jesus. Mate, I'm going to wind it back. We're going to go back. So, again, Samoa, obviously.
Yeah, so Samoa, yeah.
Got some good waves.
Joe was like, "Oh, it's looking fun." There's some little bit of northwestern as well, which is good for the wave that we're going for.
Yep.
Like mostly, I guess, on the north side. And but yeah, it sort of got closer and closer. There was swell, but I'm not sure if it still was saying like the right direction, but it wasn't the perfect direction for it the whole time we're there.
Yep.
And it
still
was very
fun.
Yeah, it was very there was only like for a whole session there'd only be like 2 or 3 like actual like ones that would do it properly.
Yeah, right.
And the rest would just be a bit wonky and weird and obviously like because Joe's been there so much
And
he knows a good one straight away. He pretty much got like every one of those good ones.
Yep.
But at least like they got on footage. Like Jay got everything. So
Yeah,
it's
epic.
But yeah, I got a couple. It was more just it was actually waves pretty annoying for drop knee, especially backhand. Because it's just a weird
The shape.
just a shape. It's like it looks like you can backdoor it, but then it sort of it might have been because of the directions all, but like it looks like it's going to be all good, but then it's sort of the barrel like I don't know, it just almonds a bit.
Right. Oh,
And
okay.
I got lipped that many times. It was fucking unbelievable, and it was just it literally was doing my head in hard. I was just like fucking Stoney was not having a good time either, and he was like fuck, like yeah, I'm in the same boat and we're having fun either, and yeah, it was.
Meanwhile,
but
Dale and
there
I
was
back
some-
here,
yeah.
earning a living.
I was actually swinging a hammer, having a great time in, I think,
and
probably
here you
38
blokes
degree
over in
heat.
Samoa
Yeah,
critiquing.
And-
I'm actually off it that I'm not working. That's fucking... You know what? I could actually be at home sweating.
but we got a couple ways on the south side, fickle, like fun ones, like not bigger than them, but and Kezi was with us on that trip too, and he knew a few little like spots, so went in there and just like little like fun sort of. Little
Do you
west.
have to pay for? Because obviously you pay to surf at a lot of spots in Samoa.
Yeah, on the north
it-
side.
Oh, just the north side.
It's pretty much just the north side. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yep. And we sort of had a deal going with this guy, and then ends up, oh no, don't park here because if you park there, you got to pay him. But if you park here, you don't have to pay anybody because it's in front of like open land. So we'd end up just parking in this little spot a bit further up on the main track, and it's just like, what the fuck is going on?
It's like you guys just want to do the right thing.
We've been paying like this guy for like the whole trip until not the whole trip, like half a trip, and then found out because Kezi was friends with one of the locals and has been for a while, and he's like, yeah, no, don't park there, park here, you won't have to pay anybody. So I think we just gave him some coin just for for doing it, and Kezi like took over surfboards and like all sorts of shit for the locals. Like Yeah.
He's the
Yeah,
guy.
it did pretty well with all that.
Happy days.
Yeah, it was good having him there for, very funny bloke too. Very, very funny bloke.
And then, obviously, second half of the film is a good solid South Coast session.
Yeah, so because obviously we didn't get the way, like, as many as we wanted.
What you wanted in Somalia.
So I think, I can't remember who came up with that idea to do, I think might have been Shano.
Yep.
Because he knew that we had heaps, like a fair bit of South Coast footage banked. And it was like, me and Stoney obviously lived down there. But Joe also had a set. He went down there for a bit and he got a fair bit from BlackRock, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
Weren't you down there at that stage too, Dale? When Joe went down?
No, I was busy swinging a hammer.
Yeah. His go-to answer, isn't it? Swinging a hammer.
Yeah. So, ends up... I talked to Jennings last week on the phone when I was at work and just about some footage I was sending him and he's like, oh, end up being like, 15 minutes. And I was like, and even Jay was like, what? Holy shit, righto. So, yeah. And I think Joe's seen a little bit of it and Stoney. And he reckons like it's actually pretty sick, so...
Yeah,
because there was plenty of like funny footage like in the car and like I got like rammed by a big massive boar and
instead of you ramming balls.
Yeah.
Oh, he's like, do you remember that old show, Hey Hey, It's Saturday? He's like Red Simons.
Oh, is it Pluck a Duck?
Oh yeah, just inappropriate. Just inappropriate.
He just sets them up so easy.
Set them up and they put them down.
That was actually pretty wild. Fuck. Like, she ended up being like one of the WA guys, Lockie. I think he made like a Tinder profile for it.
Oh Jesus, Jesus.
Chucked it in. Yeah.
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 I got one more kind of DK based question, and then I'm going to actually transition into obviously another passion of your life, which is music. And it's a big one because I think it's really current. I know Shano and Chris talked about this a lot in a recent podcast with Clayton Pickworth from DKS. But mate, I'm keen to get, your view, like, on just the general consensus of where DK sits with bodyboarding. And we said it before, it's a niche within a niche. Obviously, from a competitive sense, there's only really a few core events across the world that really push it and support it. Obviously, the DKS sessions is one of them. I think is it 20-something years now?
Yeah, I think I had a gaze at that podcast. It was real good.
Yep.
Really good.
Yeah,
like that was probably one of the best ones I think so far.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Again, so obviously completely take my hat off to Clayton. Like, that's no easy feat. Like to run events in general, but then to do it for that long.
Yeah. And then, like he said, he was just going to bail out.
Yep.
And then, I think he ended up like not for long, and then it was back on again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, what direction do you think it needs to take to help develop it into something that's a little bit more recognised and respected, to the point that it's going to inspire a new generation of bodyboarders to transition from riding prone into DK? Like, I know that's almost like the unanswerable question.
It's honestly literally like unanswerable. Like, people think, it's just got to be this, it's got to be that, and it's like, I can't even give you an answer for it.
Do you
for
think
someone that's done it for as long as I have, like, and now these days, like,
do you think the new gen put it into the too hard basket?
I think, yeah, I think it's gotten to that point now. It's like, it just seems that, it just seems to be. I think maybe it's just no one wants to put the time into it. Maybe.
How's your knee skills, Dale?
Me?
Yeah,
I got bad knees, brother.
That's your excuse. I've got bad knees.
Yeah, it's a chair.
I try to chair.
Yeah.
I go, well, it's fastest.
But realistic answer, like, no good at it.
No good at it.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah.
It's too hard.
Because it's hard.
It's very hard.
Like, you have to master the art. Like, there is a very, small, center of balance and gravity point.
Watching Ness do it is fantastic.
Poetry in
But
motion.
even like I'll go to work for 2 or 3 weeks, and then go back out for even like the first few waves feels like I'm beginning again, man.
Yep.
Like it's only 3. I just can't like get back on it the first like wave and it just feel natural again. It's like you've got to it's annoying. It's like and then because I've had such bad luck with boards and I don't even, that's a whole nother story, but like I'll go for my first surf and it's in the back of my head every time, am I going to kook at the first few waves again? Because it's literally just
Short answer, yes.
It actually depends. It depends on what wave it is.
Yep.
And if I'm injured or not.
Yep.
And usually I'm injured.
And how hungover the man is.
Well, no.
Tice doesn't drink, mate. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Dry July until like now.
About 20 minutes.
Oh, yeah. You remember when... Yeah, until that... you probably heard it, like crack.
The big
that was officially the end of dry July as we speak.
We're working on New Zealand time, by the way. They're 4 hours ahead. Mate, so, I just want to kind of now transition into music. Music's also a really big part of your life and your lifestyle. Mate, you're a pretty talented bass player. You've kind of stood beside some other kind of talented musicians with Bodyboarding, with Jono Bruce. Mate, tell us a little bit about, how you got into music. And obviously, it's a very certain kind of range of music. I mean, it's not everyone loves the kind of music you play.
They definitely don't.
Yeah. But mate, how'd you get into it? Where did your love for music first start? What was
I think it was just like end up like even from a young age, like I think I met Jono when I was 15.
Yep.
Around 15 or something. He was living in Pridgeon with Jai.
Yep.
Jai Zappa. So I sort of got pretty. I remember going over there like after I met Jono, and I think it was in Caloundra, I remember. And me and Pekka got picked up by him and Jai and went back down to Pridgeon and went to their place, and I already knew that Jono was like into like like heavy music and stuff, and he was in I think it was like a black metal band at that time. I can't remember what it was called or anything, but and it just ends up like he was like into like at that time like Avenged Sevenfold was my favorite band.
Yep.
And then I remember first time at their place I was drinking with him and he chucked on Avenged, and I was like, oh, Avenged, yeah, sick. And he's like, oh yeah, how good are they? I'm like, and then sort of just
Evolved
bonded pretty quickly like with the music thing then, like real early there.
But were you playing any musical instruments at that point?
No, I think I've maybe like 16 or 17. I remember picking up a bass and sort of just
Self-taught?
Yeah, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah, to a certain point. Yeah. And then
sick.
just and then so like Toxic Jungle, the band I was in. So it was actually a few mates that already had the band going. Like originally, I think they started in 2009. And so and then time went on. Few of them, basically the band just dropped out to nothing. But then I remember I was in Fiji at the time.
Yep.
And Pete, the drummer, he messaged me and goes, "Hey, we're gonna get Toxic happening again. Do you want to play bass?" And I was like, "Fucking yeah, that sounds sick." So it's sort of like I watched them like growing up, like 18, 19, 20, and went to all their shows, like all close mates. Like it was pretty wild time around then.
I
to
bet.
be honest,
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, like just the house and stuff they lived in Budrum house. Like it was just like party, like wild,
full rock and roll.
It was hectic.
Yeah.
It was a very, very wild stage in my life. Put it that way.
Little bit of Motley Crue.
But it was still very very like, what's the word? I don't know. Like, it'll come to me. balanced out. So it took me a while to get there. Balanced out, like it wasn't like, oh yeah, just like getting pissed and, you know, doing all that and then not bodyboarding. Like I was still bodyboarding heaps as well on the side. So like, and that's when I wasn't. Oh no, I was. Actually, that's when I was working heaps. So Nick and that got me into the soil testing industry. So but yeah, there was just it was a pretty wild time between like 20 and 28, I reckon. Yep. Yeah. Like I think especially on the sunny coast.
I think we all went through that period, didn't we?
Yeah, there was some.
I'm actually still there.
Yeah, well, you haven't passed that age bracket yet, mate. Yeah, so again, I think it also complements like everything you do with bodyboarding. Like it's, you know, you're a really aggressive bodyboarder. Like your style is aggressive, and yeah, that kind of music just complements it well.
Yeah, and I sort of just grew up with that music.
Yeah.
Pretty much, and obviously, yeah, some people, I guess, like if you want to say grow out of it, whereas yeah, just don't grow out of it.
That's
Nothing's
it.
changed.
I mean, we like what we like, right?
Yeah, nothing's really changed. Like with me at all. Like even there's people that haven't seen me for like 15 years, and they're like, "Oh, you look exactly the same." And I'm like, "Yeah, well, what am I changing for?"
Yeah, why do I need to?
Yeah, like, but there's a lot of people that I've grew up with back on the sunny coast that, like, you know, let's say like wore band shirts, and then all of a sudden, fucking, they're not even in. It's like, oh, so you weren't actually into the music.
Yeah.
You're just in it just for it's just the scene. Just
well, I mean, unfortunately now, yeah, you see a lot of people walking around in metal shirts. That if you actually ask them who's that?
Yeah, that's.
Can you name 3 songs, please?
Yeah, that's the standard.
Name one.
Never.
Right? Yeah, name one. Mate, we're going to wrap this thing up. And Dale, this little game we play at the end of every end of the potty, basically quick fire question round. Basically, the questions I'm going to ask Tyson, I'm also going to ask you, mate. Yeah. Do you need a lawyer present?
Potentially if we're answering together.
In that case,
Standard.
I would just, from a legal standpoint, I would suggest you respond with no comment.
Okay, let's go.
So most of mine will be no comment.
They're pretty straightforward, boys. So yeah, we'll start with Tyson, then move over to you, Dale. Tyson, favourite band?
See, that's a hard one. That's literally like...
Is Avenged Sevenfold still in the mix?
Yeah, not as much anymore because they sort of went a different route with their music, but they're still talent, like real good band, but more... Oh man, I couldn't even like. It's more just what I listen to like more at the moment.
Yep.
It's more like a band called As I Lay Dying, more of like heavier sort of like
right.
You could call it like metalcore if you want to.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, stuff like just more heavier stuff now, like not as much rock and roll stuff, but still listen to. But it's more like Polaris, like heavier sort of stuff. Yeah. At the moment, that's seems to be what's going on with me.
What about you, Dale?
It'd be like Ammo and the Sniffers kind of style, like that Aussie trash, kind of real fast, real shit music.
Yep.
Just kind of like who I am.
Yeah. Look, I'll be honest.
There you go.
And
How good's being honest?
Yeah, good.
I'll be honest, and it's a compliment, but yeah, I think that really describes the person you are.
Just kind of
in a good way.
I just kind of just want to do whatever the fuck I want, and I'm just going to let you know how I'm going to do it, and if you don't like it, you can actually beat it.
Amen, brother. Amen.
I'm not here to hold anyone's
I can't
hands.
back that.
Yeah. Favorite film? This is non-surfing related.
Oh, see, I'm a shock with shit like that. So maybe might not even be. Oh, fuck.
I feel like these questions are the ones that are making you the most nervous.
The man's sweaty.
Yeah, because I just don't even fucking watch like I do. Like I watch when I'm at work. I watch Stan and like whatever the fucking hell's on that. But fuck, man, I don't even know.
You can say pass.
You know what? I'm passing.
Dale.
Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah, right. Favorite scene from Shawshank Redemption?
Oh,
Crawling through the poo chute.
obviously the poo chute. The man just gone fucking out of here. Actually, when he comes out of the poo chute and he's just gone.
That to me, that's like a bit of an analogy of walking down at Elsewhere at early hours of a Sunday morning.
Oh, yeah. Actually, when you walk out of Elsewhere during summer period,
Yeah.
eyes beaming, and you go, you know what? I've actually got my sunnies. Haha, dickheads. And you put them on, and you look straight at the beach, and the sun's actually 3/4 of the way up. You go, oh, fuck.
Yeah, I'm in.
I need to call my mum.
I'm in big trouble.
I am in heaps of trouble right now.
Favorite car.
I think it was Ed.
Who's Ed?
Oh, it's my first.
Fuck.
He's not actually, but it's just. That was
the-
my first car.
Did Dale pop his cherry in Ed?
Nah,
No, I watch Ed get stolen.
Ed got stolen from D-Bar car park.
You watched it get stolen.
No, he didn't. You weren't even with me.
No, I was in the river. And you were
Were
like,
ya?
yeah, remember I paddled back.
Oh, you paddled back with us. Yeah,
Yeah.
but you didn't.
Yeah, we were just
Genuinely
like,
got stolen from Dale.
Yeah, Gonski.
No
Yeah.
way.
Yeah. They little turds obviously watched me where I put the keys.
Standard.
Paddled across, probably took it, and then got back, and I was like, fucking cunts. And so I had to fucking walk all the way to Eddie's grub house
Yeah.
and call the cops from there, and fucking, yeah.
Order a whiskey at the same time.
in our wetsuits.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
in my weddy still.
So probably.
So, yeah, but yeah, a lot of funny trips in that car back on the sunny coast when I was growing up, and got caught drink driving it twice, I think. Yeah.
We've all made mistakes, Heist.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you know what? I live by this kind of.
I've had my fair share of moments with him, and look at him tattooed here somewhere. Here we go. Ed, look, that's the day it got stolen.
Wow. That's a
17th of the 5th, 2016.
It's a proper memorial.
So yeah, that day we surfed the other side. That's how it. Yeah. Anyway,
Dale, favourite car?
Cameron.
Cameron?
It was a 1989 Toyota Camry wagon.
Dale, what is your favourite TV show?
It has to be Yellowstone.
It's a good one, isn't it?
Oh, just the dreams of actually having money is that good.
Yeah, but that's also really fucking unrealistic.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, people do have that kind of money, but
Yes,
it's not unachievable for the average Joe like you and me.
absolutely.
Yeah. It's funny, like, you see all these things, like, I love what Willem's doing with his brand and also his partner in LMCT Plus.
yeah.
Like, obviously, I hand over money to them every month in hope of getting rich quick. But you look at it, right, and you're like, wow, I can win $1 million. And you think, wow, $1 million. $1 million ain't much.
$1 million just gets you in debt.
Well, yeah. You're gonna make some.
Pretty much.
You're gonna make some bad decisions with $1 million.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Fuck, even buying a house is going to get you in debt over here, brother.
Yeah. Well, mate, look at your rates. You buy yourself $1 million house. Look at what your rates. Yeah, are every year. Yeah. Right, on to the good stuff. Favorite bodyboarding film? I assume you answered that question before, Tice.
Yeah, I reckon there's been a few other good ones.
Yep. What do you think of the Lackey project?
Yeah, well, that was sick.
Yep.
Yeah, obviously. That was real good.
Do you think Lackey should do a second?
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. But, he doesn't leave Cooley, so.
Yeah. Swear the guy's got an ankle bracelet, eh?
Yeah, struggled. Like, I was like, hey, let's go down to a Luca or something, like, when I come up. Yeah, keen as. I'm like, yeah, I've heard that before.
Yeah. Nah, I got to work. Look at the time. Prove us wrong, Lackey.
Yeah.
Yeah, so other favourite film or apart from some of the early No Friends?
Even some of the, even like, I think, like, it's all prone stuff, but I think, like, Fever Dream, I think
The
it was.
musical, yeah. That was good.
Yeah, I think there's a few good sections on that. I think, did Joe have a section on that?
Did they have an
Fever Dream was that musical thing.
Yeah, did they have a big Ireland section in that one? Or was that the next one?
No, that was
that
the
the
Viking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's been a couple.
Yeah,
good
I
ones.
think Joe did
like,
have it.
fuck all
Joe
drop
had
me,
it.
but just like,
Good film.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Standard.
Mr. Akehurst.
There'd be two. Rome 2 just sticks in my mind.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
like-
sorry. Yeah, the Rome one's a sick too.
Rome
yeah.
2 was actually the first DVD I ever brought.
Rome 2.
Yeah, that's when I
Yeah.
started bodyboarding.
When Pensy was trying to be gangster.
Yeah. Everything about that movie from the start of that, the Jeep in the black and white with the gangster music.
Oh, man.
All the way to, like, it had a drop knee session.
Yep.
Just kind of everything, like, Hardy. And then they even had, like, this mixed bag at the end.
Yeah. It was good.
That was epic. And then Killer Days, which came out, like, would have been kind of like...
Killer Days is good too.
They came out, like, at the end of, like, Australian Prime, and it was just, like, old people, like old people, I say, like Mitch, Kingy, Lester, Tom Robb, just absolutely, doing the most insane shit, and you're just like, oh, these guys just actually do it for the love. Like, they're over 30 and they're still just...
I reckon what's better these
shit.
days is some of the just the clips that are coming out, like, just of the one person instead of, like, a whole, like, bodyboard.
Yep.
Like
team trips, yeah.
Well, speaking of Tom Robb, that one at Black Rock. Have you seen that one?
Of Tom Robb?
Insane, yeah. Like,
Tom Robb at Black Rock by Bones film. There's two of them.
Yeah.
One with his science board in Thrashed and one with his found board. Me and Lucas actually sit at home and watch that every, like, once a week before we go surfing.
Yeah.
It's just, like, the filming, the surfing, everything about it's sick.
Yep.
Like, it's just real good shit.
Favorite section of a film. So this is where we break it down.
it would be...
For you, it has to be a DK session.
Yeah, it is.
Has to be.
Well, I reckon probably the best one is that Philippine section of Matt.
Yep.
Like from 2016 or 15 or whatever that was. That was insane.
Yep.
Like, wow.
Was that Rome Diaries?
Yeah, well, it had
With
its own
Cramsey.
clip too.
Yeah.
It had its own clip, and then that left him and Cramsey surfed as well in
Yep.
Philippines. Like, man, that was, I reckon, between that and then one of the sections on his DVD.
Yep.
On DVD on his on the Lucky Project. Sick. Yeah.
Dale, favorite section?
It's either stock 1 or 2. I can't remember which number it is. It's a Hardy section rolls into a Mitch Rollins section.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like, I'm pretty sure they share the same song, and it's just like they're just going absolutely bananas in WA.
Yeah.
And halfway through the song, I'm pretty sure it's Hardy first, and he, like, gets a spit out at box. I remember this, and then the next one is, it's like Hardy gets one and Mitch gets the one behind it, and it rolls into the same section.
Yeah, gotcha.
And I was just like, fuck, that is...
Creative genius.
Like, the fact that Hardy gets one, I'm pretty sure he spins in and gets spat out, and then Mitch, like...
Yeah.
From memory, it's like
ones,
a air forward,
yeah.
like he just comes around the section and just... I was like, holy fuck, this was the second...
Worst movie cover I've ever seen, though.
Oh, awful.
Literally climbing a stalk. Fuck.
And just green.
Yeah.
Green and black, and it was just awful.
Might as well done like purple or something.
Tyson, have you ever been mistaken for someone famous?
I can't recall.
You can't recall?
Maybe, yeah, like that I can remember.
Yep. Dale?
Maybe out somewhere, but like...
I haven't been mistaken for someone famous ever, but I do have a pretty good story of mistaking someone else.
Go on.
Stunt double.
Yes.
I've had heaps of stunt double ones.
No, kinda.
Yeah.
So we're going to the Passing Through premiere. I remember this very fucking clearly.
Is that the Reef movie or the...
No, Passing Through was the Boogie one.
Oh, right.
Came out the premiere was actually at Coolangatta Cinemas.
Okay.
And I was living with Stevie Lloyd at the time, and he was like, hey, come on over. I've actually got an apartment for the night. I was like, oh, sick. And we show up to the apartment next to it. And I roll in, I go, holy fuck, Ryan Hardy's here. I was probably like, this is actually in a book.
It's in the book as
It's
well.
in the book.
Yeah.
And I go, holy fuck, Ryan's here. And Steve was like, oh, this is Ryan. I was like, holy shit. I was probably like not. I've known Tyson since I was like 19, 20 at this time. And I was like, fuck me. This guy's like kind of the idol in Bergin. What's he doing in my apartment? Holy shit, we're going to get fucking pissed together. This is going to be a great time.
And then
for like 40 minutes, I'm like, oh, this wave. And he's like, yeah. And then like something slipped. I go, hold on. And he goes, oh, I'm Brett. I go, who the fuck's Brett? And then he goes,
Idiot.
Brett's actually Ryan's twin. And then the story gets even better because we roll into the cinemas. We actually showed up maybe like 5-10 minutes late.
fashionably late.
And then someone from the front must have been told, or anyone who was running like the show goes, oh, Ryan Hardy just rolled in, and Brett goes down to the front and does a rap about bodyboarding.
Oh,
What
And
a
I was
legend,
like,
Dave.
holy shit. It was probably like the most, I guess, embarrassing and then funniest moment of my life. Again, like, I just got fucking done to, hey, you dickheads all got done.
Oh, man. First board. I think you also kind of covered that before.
First
Tyson.
board, no, ever.
Yeah, first board ever.
But are we talking like actual board, like drop knee board?
Not the first bodyboard.
Yeah, I think it was that Manda Cyclone.
Yes.
Couldn't tell you the inches.
Yeah. Probably at least 42.
I reckon it would have been like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because my first actual drop knee board was 39.
Yeah.
I think, from memory.
You're joking.
39. Yeah. That was a Mason.
Fucking
Mason
hell.
board, a 4-play Mason.
Jeez, you're making
Yeah.
it hard for yourself, weren't you?
Well, I was, I guess, small, so I guess
You're
that
still
was
small,
that
man.
would have been the go.
But that's still a small board.
I know.
In terms of overall volume.
Oh, I know a couple of guys that drop knee now that are my age that are like Azza uses like 41.5 or some shit. It's like fuck me, but he's smaller dude than me. But fuck, I just like holy shit.
Dale, first board.
Four play kinging, I remember.
Yeah, right. Gotcha.
From
Blue deck,
blue deck from a
red rail, yellow pin, white slick.
38 inch, maybe 9.
Yeah, you guys went through a really fucking weird phase
Well,
of just wanting
Real
ridiculous.
small boards. Yeah, I
Do you,
think
do you remember Lloyd Vanel's?
yes. Do you remember? So Simon
He was riding-
Omerod.
Yeah.
So Simon Omerod is 6'2" or something.
Yeah.
And he's around now, like locally in Tweed. And he asked me the other day, he goes, oh, what board do you use? I'm like, oh, I'm running a 43. I'm sick. And he's like, oh, how tall are you? I'm like, well, I'm 6 foot. You're fucking 6'3" or something. He goes, oh, during my heyday, I was riding a 41 inch.
Yeah.
I was like as you
Yeah,
said, I was
'cause
like, what do you
everyone-
mean?
everyone was on small board. Even
Yeah.
like back, like
Yeah.
I think remember, yeah, because even Jono these days, I think it 40 inch. Like I think Peck's still
Yeah.
smaller,
Sam-
41.
I was with Proctor the other day surfing, and he goes, oh,
Oh, he'd be on a fucking 30.
Proctor's on a 38 inch, and he goes, oh, Jono rides a 40 inch and nothing bigger.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
I was like, what do you mean? The
And
dude's just sinking
Him on
it.
the sunny coast just obviously just did that as well, no matter how tall they were.
Yeah.
And that's, yeah, like, I remember Tyson Lloyd's first QCD board was 37.
the customs.
37, yeah, it was a
Oh,
37.
wow.
He was the first one to get a QC custom. Oh, well, TQD back then. I
Yeah,
think.
Todd.
Yeah. TQD
Todd
was.
Quigley
yeah.
designs. Yep.
Yeah, it was an all black, white slick, I remember it. And
God.
he was drop kneeing on, I remember. Yeah.
Now he just chairs.
Yeah, well, yeah, duh.
Favorite wave, Tice?
Luca.
Deba.
Similar waves, kind of. There's similarities.
Debatable.
Yeah,
There's similarities, but you just got to love where you live.
Oh, it's a tie between Luca and one down at home. Yeah.
Just an unknown wave down at home.
Oh, yeah.
Hey. Favorite surf trip, Tice?
Dude, I reckon.
How many times have you been to Fiji now?
Oh,
Too many to remember.
10?
Yeah.
It won. Yeah, it'd be 10.
Honorary citizen.
2010 was my first trip there.
Yep.
10, 12, 13, 15, 17, 19, 22 this year.
Why Fiji?
The lad, like the crew there,
Yep.
just the best.
Yep.
Like the guys that work at Beach House, and like I'm good friends with the person that owns it as well.
Yeah, gotcha.
And it's just an all round good place to go.
Good waves?
waves. You got waves
Options.
out the front. There's options out the front, and then when it gets too big, you get jump in the boat, and the boys take you to all the other waves, which is only about 20 minutes away.
Yep.
And there's just options after options, and there's just nobody.
Sick.
You just like you can have cloud break, and we'll have down here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
Dale?
It would be that year that you and I were in the Cook Islands together, I reckon.
Yeah, boy.
That was like a 2-week trip of just really...
Is that when I was living there?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
And we just got like nothing under 4 foot,
Yeah.
nothing too like serious or shit.
You've never been to the Cooks?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah?
2011.
Yeah, fuck, it's good.
Yeah.
Fuck, it's good. The
It's like
fact
with-
that you can
with,
just...
with Nudge. I saw Nudge today.
Yeah.
Nudge.
I think it was...
Happy birthday, Nudge.
Yeah.
It is. It's his birthday.
Yeah. So
Big
yeah,
Nudgy.
haven't seen him in ages. We just popped. Yeah, it was random as. Heaps of boys rocked up randomly when we were getting ready.
Actually, that was kind of...
Curdy P was
Yeah,
there?
Coase rocked up with him.
He's
Dano
back.
Miller.
Yeah, Miller rocked up on
Oh,
his
wow.
bike. It was,
Rory.
yeah, it was
Yeah, it was
sick.
kind of scary. It's like we were just like in this car park and just so many people were saying hello, and it was just like I don't actually even care about surfing anymore.
Yeah,
Like,
we
I just-
nearly forgot about it.
Like
eh?
I'm actually just hanging out with friends. This is actually
It's probably it was
half
way
the-
better than the actual surf.
half the time we just go surfing to talk shit, and we're talking shit here. So
Speaking of the Cooks, did you guys have Eric Gamez hanging around?
No,
when you were in
not that I
Samoa
remember.
or something?
Yeah, he did. He was in Samoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a shit time, eh?
He got attacked by
He
a
got
dog,
attacked
didn't
by
he?
dogs
Yep.
and
Oh.
got ragdolled off his scooter and got fucking smashed up and like I don't think he got many waves, like same as us sort of, but yeah, he's just we didn't surf with him once, so every time
Yep.
we surf we'd get some waves and we'd like sort of rock up it's onshore and he was just rocked up. I'm like, what? Yeah. It was,
Look, I'll give him credit. Like Hans, like he's an incredibly talented bodyboarder.
yeah.
One of the most memorable things was obviously that one wave he got in that last Tahiti comp. Just going to get a backup. And obviously he creates so much content through his business socials, which is,
GoPros at social rights is just
oh yeah,
it's
mate,
a selling. It's just like
Yeah.
international boog selling.
Yeah, it's great content. I'm not sure it's great for the local surfing community,
No, they do not.
We'll talk about that off air, I think, boys. 2 more questions. Favorite move, Tice?
Favorite move.
Say chair. Say chair. Say chair.
Chair calves are good. You got to come off the bottom pretty hard,
Yep.
and it's a hard thing to do because you can slide out. But in all seriousness, probably like a long carve into a reverse.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's sick.
but not, and obviously not grabbing any fucking rails either. That's another story.
Because that's cheating, bruh.
Yeah, it is. It's cheating.
Alright.
If you're gonna do a big long carve, or tight carve, and then smack a reverse back in the pocket, and maybe get barreled after it,
Yep.
you can't be grabbing rails. I'm sorry,
I reckon you can probably guess mine.
kick flip.
I don't know, mate. I actually can't guess yours. It's either air rev or an invert?
It would be a right inverted D-bar.
Yep.
That is just
Classic.
classic.
Yep.
Every time I do one, I feel real good about
Hit
it.
that bowl. Hit that bowl, spread the legs and take it.
Oh, I don't know that a bowl of D-bar is kind of like a mystery. Like every time you
Is it
see...
not?
Oh,
Oh yeah, it is when they finally rock up.
when they rock up, it's like... This bowl could either be the best or worst thing of my life.
Yep.
And you'd get 3 of those a day, and all 3 of them would be the worst thing ever.
Yep.
But when it does happen, it just feels...
Well, we said it only takes that one wave, right?
It does, and that happens. Right, like a right invert just feels...
How's your left invert?
Give up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't go left.
Fucking one trick pony, this bloke.
I forgot how to go left actually.
Have you ever seen the left of D-bar? No.
What do you mean? No. There's a left at D-Bar. What are you talking about?
It's too far. It's too far north. It's actually over in the other side of the border.
Yeah, it's a different state. Need your papers. Passports. Last question, boys. Favorite board?
It was probably the first Nomad board I got off him when I started riding for him in 2012.
Jesus.
That was probably I used it at Pipe. When it,
is that backhand?
Yeah, I used
Yeah,
it. It
that
was a
thing
black,
is fucked
all
up.
black and yellow slick. I remember saying to Shane,
Can we talk about that photo for a second? And it kind of needs a little bit of...
Go, Dale, please. Elaborate.
Righto.
Oh, just like probably the best thing Ness has ever done is this no hand, backhand, bottom turn at Pipe. It looks fucking massive. Maybe 10 foot, I'm going to say.
You know, it took him the entire podcast to say something worthy.
Yeah.
That's fair. And this is the other thing. And
He's never fucking pissed on my fucking in my pocket, have you?
Yeah.
Nah, fuck that guy.
He needs a lift home. He needs a lift
He's
home.
given me.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's actually my car. No, that photo and what the man's doing needs to be recognised because it just hasn't really been done before or since that I know of.
Well, I remember it was supposed to. NATO's. Well, I think he sent it off to the magazines. They didn't want to know about it.
Well, he didn't send it
Same.
because
That's a whole nother. That's a whole nother
episode.
Another tale as well.
It's another episode.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That might be for a whole nother podcast.
Yep. Part 2.
Yeah.
Part 2.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you're coming down for the are you down for the DKS pool party thing?
Yeah. Got Pico gave me an invite and that, so that's all locked in.
You gonna tag along?
obviously I just need to be there to talk shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. I'll tell you what. South Oz boys are. They might be looking to fill some spots. A couple of their key players have decided
Do I have to get up
to surf.
like on the knee?
No, you could fill in on the prone side.
It's a both thingy going on.
Well, sign me up. Doz is in
It's a
to just
situation.
talk absolute nonsense.
Oh, mate. Well, that's a given.
Okay.
That's a given. All right. So, and yeah, for you, Dale, what's your favourite board?
It would be. I've actually just gone through a little period in time that I've been collecting Tom Rigby sciences.
Right.
Uh,
yeah, you have asked me about this multiple times. Yep.
I actually got maybe 4 or 5 at one point.
It's a bit obsessive.
It is.
Yeah.
There was just like, I think there was like a 2-year model that I've been kind of looking for. I didn't realize that they had a range of boards in the same name.
Yep.
Did recently sell some to Elliot Williams, which got stolen from the poor fella, like out of his house.
Big
So
blood.
if anyone has any Tom Rigby boards, message that bloke because he's looking for redemption. But that would be actually
Probably don't message.
God. You don't want to mess with his Zohan, do you? Jesus.
So that would be like the favourite board. There was something about the shape, the way it was crafted. There was just 2-year model that was just incredible.
Yep.
And the colourways were actually good.
Shame we don't see Tom Rigby much anymore.
Yeah, I haven't seen him in years, man. Like long time.
Maybe the man's just on his own
I
journey.
don't know if he's in Melbourne or Sydney. I know he's in one of those places at the moment.
Well, I'd love to see him back. Again, there's unfortunately a lot of guys through bodyboarding that just kind of slip through the cracks, which is sad.
The BFC, I guess you'd call it, generation just kind of
Yeah.
moved away, I guess. Like,
But you know what? Yeah, you can't. Oh, fuck, I'm tired.
you can't
Yeah.
blame anyone, but when you're in that position of potential,
Well,
the new people,
stable income and then nothing.
and then nothing, what would you do? I'd leave as well.
All right, boys. Well, I reckon we wrap this one up. So, absolute honour to be in your company. Thanks for hosting me here at your wonderful auntie's place in Palm Beach, Tice.
Yeah. Yeah, she was pretty stoked to have that going. So nice little spot at the back here.
Magical spot. And
The
Dale,
cat.
obviously, what can I say about you, mate? Keep
Just-
swinging that hammer.
Put the seatbelt on and just hold on.
Hold on, eh?
All right. Yeah. So, yeah, that basically wraps things up for this episode of the Closeout Bodyboarding Podcast. Big shout out to Watto. By the way, it's also his birthday today.
Happy birthday, Watto.
Yeah,
Happy
yeah.
birthday. Happy birthday.
Also, Shano and the rest of our production crew, Sammy Watson, Michael Jennings, our sound guys, and also the music production team. So, cheers, boys. Yield.
Yeah.
Get the dog.